on the Offside, and I'm here today with Colby, Matt, and Derek. I'm going to do a little recap of this weekend. I'll go ahead and get it started, guys, with college football. The Vols got a win, as expected. The best thing about that game is they won how they were expected to play, so not a lot really to talk about with it. It's Tennessee Tech, but like I said, they won like how they were supposed to, so I'm happy with that. Getting preparation for Florida this weekend, so see how that goes. Did you guys get to catch that game any at all? Like I said, I mean, I really didn't watch a lot of it. I kind of kept up with it throughout the day. So the big game was obviously Bama and Florida. So Matt,
yeah.
I guess you're pretty happy with the outcome of that Bama-Florida game at least.
I mean,
to an extent.
Don't get me wrong. I'm happy to have another one in the win column and avoid one in the loss column. Going down to Gainesville to play, it's never going to be easy. That said, maybe I'm the only one, but it felt like Bama was way better a team than what the final score showed. And no discredit to Florida because they ran the ball very well. But I'm sorry, Emory Jones is not that good a quarterback, but he looked like a good quarterback on Saturday. So there were definitely some things for Bama to work on. Defense looked bad. Offense, thankfully, Bama's first quarter was better than the other three quarters that Florida put together, so it kept him in it. But offense got really stagnant there. I don't necessarily blame Bryce Young, but, man, they got to do something with the run game. They do not have that featured back, the Najee Harris, Ingram, Richardson, Lacey, Yeldon, Henry. They don't have that. And I said coming into the year, I thought it'd be like a Damian Harris, Josh Jacobs type backfield. But it's not even looking like that right now. Brian Robinson looked really, really slow attacking the line. So I am kind of worried about the run game. I don't want to get into a shootout versus Ole Miss here in 2 weeks.
No, I agree. Yeah, I mean, that was something I noticed with it, and I did watch most of that game. And the fact, like you said, with the run game, they really didn't have it going. And the fact that after the first quarter it was 21-3, I was like, well, this is going to be a blowout. So maybe got a little lax there too. So and then Florida switched it up and adjusted. I don't think they expected, much of the option and the running like they were doing. I don't think they knew they were going to pass all over them. So, but got to give it to Florida on staying in the game. So I did not expect that. I'll be honest. I thought that was going to be a blowout. I was expecting 40-something to 14 or so, after watching the first quarter, but did not happen that way. So.
Yeah, I kind of disagree with something you said, Matt. You said that the score was closer than it appeared.
That's not what I said. That is not what I said, sir.
Okay, what was the statement?
Okay, what I said was that the score did not reflect marginally how much better of a team Bama is than Florida.
But Florida had like 100 more yards.
Isn't
important in football?
You can say the stats didn't reflect it either.
Oh, okay. The score and the stats are just liars.
I'm not saying they're liars. I'm saying they didn't accurately reflect the game. Do you think the Giants were better than the Patriots in 2007? Because I don't.
No.
But the Giants won that game. The score reflected it.
I think I get what he's saying. It's just, and
I'm saying Florida put one of their best games on the field. And again, credit to them. They ran the ball all over Alabama. They even passed the ball well. And their defense definitely made some good adjustments after the first quarter. But I think Bama's best game and Florida's best game, Bama wins by 14 plus. I don't think we saw that on Saturday. I think we saw Bama play one of their worser games and Florida play one of their more clean games that they'll play this season.
Yeah, I think Bama, the way they played the first quarter was playing, at the level they were expected. So, and maybe part of that also might have been Florida not playing up to the level that they needed to play in the first quarter as well. But, I do think Bama's the better team overall, but it's hard to defend Florida if you're me. But, it's also hate week for Tennessee, so for them. So, but yeah. Derek, was you going to say something, Derek? I didn't mean to cut you off there.
I mean, I was just going to say.
I feel like if Florida.
Go ahead, Colby.
No, I was just feeling like if Bama Florida plays that game, I don't know, 10 times, Bama wins that 8 or 9 times. Don't get me wrong, it was tough. Like I said, watching Robinson, it's not the Bama back that we're used to. That's kind of tough. As for next week, though, I mean, seeing Davis, Jones, and Wright run all over Alabama, I mean, that's kind of scary. I mean, they did do that. That's not what we're used to with Alabama. I mean, and Saban does evolve. It seems like every year it's something different. I mean, we're used to a strong run game and a strong run defense. And seeing that in week 2 is kind of weird, being weak on both fronts. But I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I trust Bryce Young. I mean, I think that's the early Heisman favorite. But I mean, I still think it's the best team out there. It's just kind of odd right now.
Yeah, I think the thing that's worrying is that inconsistency. So, and I tell people this all the time. Every year Bama wins the championship, they have 1 or 2 of those games that they don't win as well as they should. They had the game against Tennessee. I can't remember the year. It was when Jake Coker was QB, but Tennessee, took them down to the wire in that game. They had the game against Ole Miss last year. They've had games against Arkansas that have been close. But the thing is, even last year when they played Ole Miss, I could tell it was a shootout, but I felt very confident in Bama's offense because they had Mac Jones, Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith. They had these weapons. I look at them this year, and I'm not as confident if they have one of those sloppy games. And I think Bryce Young is great, but he is inexperienced. He's not that veteran-type player. And he doesn't have the weapons at receiver that Mac Jones did. So I am kind of worried about the inconsistency. That's something that's going to have to get fixed.
Right. Does anybody have really anything else from Saturday? Any other takes from the game or any other games that you noticed? Really, I don't think there wasn't much upset wise. I don't think anything happened.
Auburn lost.
Auburn did lose.
I was going to say the Penn State wideout is one of the coolest things. I mean,
that was a crazy game.
Yeah,
by the way,
watching them do that. So
that stadium gets rocking too for that wideout game.
Hey, for what it's worth, ETSU beating Delaware State 3-0, baby.
3-0.
Hey, we're gonna mention that. Well, we're gonna mention them each time, but we'll say we'll keep that win streak going. So each time they win, we're making a statement on here. So,
yes, sir.
We're kind of getting in. So Sunday, it's a wild day. Of course, Matt, Derek, we had Panthers and Saints. Matt's out on this one, so
Matt has left the chat.
I'll just go ahead and start with on that game. Honestly, it surprised me, and not that it surprised me that like the Panthers necessarily won. It was just I expected a lot better game out of that. I mean, Saints just came off a game what they did with with the Packers and everything, and it just wasn't there. From what I was watching on Sunday, there it just wasn't there. And then Sam Darnold, he didn't have to, he didn't make mistakes really. I had that one interception, but he just kind of played a solid game, which is what I think he needs to do. You got McCaffrey and let him go off, and the defense first off too. That's the Panthers defense right now is going to win them some football games. Offense really just eliminate some mistakes and do what you need to do and keep the ball. That's basically
it's almost like that's exactly what I said we needed to do coming into the year. It's weird. It's just weird how that works. But I mean,
wow, who would have thought that playing good defense and not turning the ball over would win a game? That's incredible, Derek. You have great insight there.
I'm just saying, I knew the defense was going to be special this year, and they are. They lead the NFL in points per game, and I know we're 2 weeks in the season, but they lead the NFL in points allowed, yards allowed, passing yards, rushing yards, sacks, quarterback hits. That's a lot of categories to lead in.
Just to be clear, the quarterbacks you've played are Jameis Winston and Zach Wilson. But carry on.
Hey, 5 touchdowns last weekend. 5 touchdowns.
Yeah,
Jameis.
I know.
Yeah, exactly. and it's still early in the season, but you know, I mean, they looked really good, and you know, I guess that's why you don't put too much into any one game for any team, even the Panthers this weekend. But it's like we'll see how good of a win that is as the season goes. Because I mean, if Jameis looks like he did this weekend, it's not really that good of a win. But if you see the guy that throws 5 touchdowns and doesn't turn the ball over like he did against Green Bay, then obviously that adds some merit to our defense. But at this point, we're 2 weeks into the season. We have the Texans with I don't even know the guy's name at quarterback on Thursday night, so it's just
Right.
like it's not really a good measuring stick for the Panthers to see where they're going to be at. But you know, I'm excited about the team. So
Matt, I like to hear like for you
Yeah.
seriously, like for the Saints, what does it look like after this? I mean, you've had a great game and then you flipped it
Yeah.
like the very next
So-
week. So
So the honeymoon phase of Jameis Winston was very short lived.
It was fun.
yeah,
It was a lot of fun. You know, I had my Jameis Winston for MVP shirt ready to order in the Amazon shopping cart. But then I had a reality check this week. And that's good because it reminded me that this is going to be a wild year for the Saints. Need to kind of temper expectations. I really don't want them to sell out on Jameis quite yet. By sell out, I mean I don't want them to give it to Taysom now. I want them to keep giving him a chance. In my eyes, you've given Jameis the starting job. Keep him there the entire year. If he does not play to the level you need him to play, draft a quarterback. When you said Jameis is the starter, I think you committed to it for the season. Give him a full season. See if he develops.
yeah.
But yeah, it was a big slap in the face, big reality check. So we'll see. Hopefully we can see some progress this week.
well, and to piggyback off what you said, it's like definitely you've got to ride with Jameis. I mean, last week was a huge indicator of why he was the former number 1 pick. Talent's there, arm talent's there, but I mean, honestly, I mean, the Panthers lived in the Saints' backfield.
Yeah.
So
And
you can't put it all on Jameis this week.
The Saints offensive line just got manhandled. No way around it.
Yeah.
I mean, Kamara rushed for what was it, like 8 carries, 5 yards or something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
And
it
then Winston
wasn't.
got hit 10 times.
11.
11. Yeah. So there's some issues there that you can't just pin on Jameis Winston. That's offensive line issues right there.
Colby, you got anything on that game?
I will say on this, I got my words. Yeah, a couple things. One, I said that Panthers would be a bottom half defense. That looks kind of like a bad take right now. I'm pretty sure last week on the show I said Jameis Winston, dark horse MVP candidate. Also looks like a bad take.
Don't give up on him yet, Colby. Stay with it. Stay the ship.
So just a couple takeaways from the game. Kamara is not going to have a week like that. You know, again, I feel like, I mean, that's got to be his worst performance. And I'm not really sure why that happened. You know, Carolina played great defense, but to shut him out like that. So, I mean, I'm expecting Kamara to bounce back. Winston, I don't know, still a question mark. Hopefully a dark horse MVP candidate. The offensive line was suspect. I don't know. I mean, I always thought that was like a top 10 defense or offensive line. But
It is a top 10 defense. Thank you.
Yeah. But Burns got back. The whole Panthers front 7 was back there, it seemed like, every other play.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. You know, Carolina, good schedule. I mean, like Derek said, they should start 3-0 going against David Mills on Thursday. So we'll see. I fully expect the Saints to bounce back, though.
And we get 𝘵𝐵𝐽𝐴 back this week. He had a 2-game suspension, and he's back this week. So that's going to help our secondary even more. You know, if we stay healthy, I mean, I'm not saying we're going to beat Tampa or anything.
I think he just said they're going to win the Super Bowl.
We're winning the Super Bowl.
That's what he just said.
I should make some like
Right.
ridiculous bet. Like if we win the Super Bowl, I don't know. We'll think about it. Maybe somebody that's watching this can give me something to do. I'm not like a tattoo person, but something crazy.
Sam Darnold would jump on that fumble.
Sam
Darnold would
Darnold
jump on the
It
fumble.
always comes back to that fumble. The man has 45 touchdowns in a season, and it comes back to that fumble that he would have lost his leg on.
Yes, last game of the season. Can't hold anything back.
Right.
I have a lot of feelings about that game. Let's not talk about it.
Hey, fair enough.
That's fair. So moving on, the Titans, Colby, got to be happy about it like I am. At the same time, though, it was what a game. That the first half, we got to come out faster than that. I mean, actually, I text you guys and I still think I'd still stand by this. I was a little upset at the time, but I do think the Titans are going to struggle getting to playoffs this year. Not that they can't. It's just going to be tough. They got a tough schedule. So, but pulling that game out was that was a big game for them there because that's a tough team. It's a tough opponent on their schedule. They needed that. Derrick Henry needed that. I mean, he's back. King Henry. I know it's only week 2, but he's back up on top on the rushing polls now. And actually, this might be a little bit of concern though for our offensive line. But Derrick Henry, his yards after contact are still more than second on the rushing totals right now after that game. But and then Julio Jones, it's nice to see him being Julio Jones. He should have had a touchdown in my opinion, and had over 100 yards. So good game all around for the Titans there. I think we got some stuff to work on. Obviously, defense still. I mean, they didn't do a ton this year to improve that, but at the same time, the offense started to click a little bit and really started clicking that second half, and I think that's going to continue for them. Honestly, I don't feel like they're going to be held like they were the previous week many times this year. So give a little bit of hope on that for me, but
yeah,
a win was nice. So
I'm with you. Now I'll say it every week. A win in the NFL is a win in the NFL. But this was the game that we were kind of expecting, kind of coming into the season, how the Titans were going to play. We can put up points. Right. No questions asked. We can put up points. We saw King Henry. That's what we're used to. That defense is suspect. It really is. I don't want to harp on that too much. I'd like to look at the positives. Julio definitely showed out. We kind of hung on even without like Taylor Lewan on the offensive line. I do feel like we had no business winning that game though. And that was, did we have the lead until, at the end? I think that was the first time we had the lead, right?
I'm pretty sure that was like right there towards, I'd have to double check, but if it was early on, but we were down from the get-go and fought back into it. So
yeah, we kept allowing the big plays, but we saw King Henry, and you can crown him.
Yep.
You can definitely crown him, but he showed out that second. He did.
You want to crown him? Crown him.
But you know what? I'm gonna take that win, beating Seattle, who is a scary team. That NFC West schedule that we got is brutal. The schedule overall is brutal, but the NFC coming out 1-1 against the Cardinals and Seattle, I can't complain too much on that.
Yeah, I agree. Matt, Derek, did you guys get to see much on that game? Other than probably, like I said, there were a lot.
I just watched my fantasy points go up.
Tyler, how do you get? Is it so you got Derrick Henry and then your other back is Jones?
Aaron Jones, yeah.
Who let that
the
happen?
key is you play in a league with people who don't know what they're doing, and good things happen.
Fair. I'm 0-2, by the way. 0-2. Let's
Congratulations
go.
Championship. You're just a wizard, a guru.
Derek, I've been asking you to join a fantasy league with me, but you keep saying you don't want to. So
I'm in 4. I'm in plenty.
Yes.
He's a popular man.
And I'm 8-0 across those leagues right now. So
Ooh. We'll see how it ends up.
8-0. I'm in 4 leagues, and I'm 2-0 in all 4 of them.
So
That will probably be 8-8 in 2 weeks. So let's just
we can do another poll and say who's going to do better this year in fantasy football, Matt or Derek.
I like that.
We'll probably go
it's definitely not me. I'm already out of there, so I'm just searching for my first win.
Matt's like, I scored 200 points this week. My opponent drafted 3 kickers.
Big talk there, Derek. Come on, I mean, join a fantasy league with me. We'll play. I'm down.
They had 3 defenses, each one better than the last.
Next year, we all have to be in the same fantasy league.
Yeah,
there has to be
That's
at this
happen.
point. So, and then we can see then. Anybody got any more on as far as the Titans game though? A little distraction there. It's okay.
No, I mean, I would just say that, it's a good thing to see Henry get going. I didn't watch the whole game. I watched the comeback. The team seems – I mean, they did what a Mike Vrabel team should do, and that's not give up, not let your dog bark while you're talking. I hit the ball, by the way, not her. But anyways – no,
Put the disclaimer.
Yeah. I would never. But no, I mean, they showed a lot of heart, and they do have to stop from. They can't let Derrick Henry keep getting hit in the backfield because his yards after carry, based off of his yards, is absolutely insane. I'm not looking at it, but I do think it's like 260 to like 290, and there's just. He's getting hit a lot, and you can't do that to your running back. So,
absolutely. So I guess as far as that's probably going to wrap it up there with the games and the recap from this weekend. But going into this coming weekend, what game do you guys look forward to most? I know that's something we had talked about starting to do, and I think that'd be good to talk about as well. For me, it's Titans and Colts. Obviously, that's a big game for us anyway, because the Titans and Colts are the 2 teams that in that division who are expected to win it. So that's the game I'm most looking forward to. I'm hoping that momentum from winning this past weekend against the Seahawks is going to carry over. So, but what about you guys?
Honestly, this is kind of an easy take outside the Titans and Colts, but Rams Bucks, that right now through 2 weeks should be the NFC Championship game. Whether or not that happens or not, story, but on paper it should happen. That Rams offense, heck, the Bucks offense, hopefully it's a high flying game. I expect a lot of points, a lot of back and forth. I'd like to see Aaron Donald in the backfield a lot against Brady, but I fully expect a good game on that one.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably make an argument that those are the top 2 defenses. They're at least 2 of the top 5 defenses, and both of those offenses just have so many weapons. I do think it's the game of the week. I'm going to throw another one out here just to give us some parity here. I think Packers 49ers is kind of interesting. 49ers are 2-0. They have a really good defense, and it's not even necessarily more about them. It's just about how good are the Packers. We've seen kind of 2 sides of them. I know the beating the Lions is really that impressive, but they were in the NFC Conference Championship game last year, so it's like, this is an opportunity for them to beat a good team. The 49ers have a good defense. How does Rodgers play against them instead of a Detroit team that didn't even have Okuda's probably their best player, I would assume, for Detroit on the defensive side of the ball, unless I'm missing somebody. But I mean, he's out, and so it's just more about how good is Green Bay going to be this year. That we've seen the polar opposite sides of what that team can be. So playing a 2-0 good 49ers team, we'll see how they look. So
right. Matt.
Alrighty. Game of the week. I'm going to college football, and we got A&M Arkansas, and that's a game that excites me. SEC West showdown, but I think we're finally going to find out, is Arkansas actually for real this year? You know, they came out and shocked Texas. Can they prove that that wasn't a fluke? They're here. Is A&M going to solidify that they're a definite contender for the West? Because that was what a lot of people said going into this. They said Bama, Ole Miss, and A&M were the top three in the West. Is that going to be the case? I think we're going to find out this week.
I agree. Hey, by the way, not a game of the week thing probably, but for most, but Tennessee and Florida play this weekend. So it's Florida hate week. It's Florida hate week. So
that's every week.
I hate Florida.
That is every week. But
let's throw out some predictions then. I mean, we've been
hope for an upset. Let's hope for an upset. Coming off that Bama loss, just if they do get upset, you know, watch out for your friends who are Florida fans, though. Need to check on them, but
don't, because they're Florida fans.
Why do you have friends that are Florida fans? That's the better question.
Goes to work on Monday. First person that walks in is that coworker who's a Florida fan. Just, but was somebody going? Derek, did you say something about a take on that or predictions on that?
I was saying we could throw out predictions, but I don't like throwing out Tennessee predictions when we're playing not Tennessee Tech.
Yeah, I'm not gonna throw out my prediction on that, but all I can say is go Vols this weekend for me. So
we'll go.
Yeah, but I think that if do you guys have anything else left to say about the weekend or anything? And I think that kind of wraps everything up. But you know, we'll get into it, see how the weekend goes. So excited for another good weekend of football. Got plenty of them left, so it's back. But again, thank you guys, and please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. You know, we got on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We've kept that Twitter active here lately too, especially Matt this past weekend. If you see all the Bama posts on there
during game time, you watch for those tweets during game time.
I'm gonna have to throw out some Vols posts to kind of counteract that. So
there you go. That's okay.
but yeah, just you know, check us out, help us out. Comment too. Who do you know? What's your on this video? I guess comment who you think's going to be what game you're looking forward to the most this weekend as well. So we just want like that interaction. Thank you guys.
Peace.